What's up? Oh no, that ain't going anywhere. The hammer. Do a little unboxing. Box, right? It's a clone. Of course it's a clone. A clone of a clone of a clone? I don't know. Is that upside down? Nope, that's upside right. Look at that. I did it right. This is the hammer. Open it up. Nothing there. Nice and shiny. Look at that. Crazy. Anything underneath? I don't even know if there's anything underneath. No, there's nothing underneath. It's in this really nice foam pad, though. That hard foam stuff. The hammer clone. It's tough to get out, man. Here you got the hammer. The 18650 tube. And, ooh, the 18500 tube. Don't mind the wife yelling at the dog. Hey, the switch came apart on me. Why'd it do that? Look at that. Barely got out of the box. It fell apart on me. Let's see here. Gotta love that. That should be at the top of everybody's list. There, now you know what you're getting when you buy a clone. Things that fall apart. Now I gotta show you the switch. What the heck do you want to see the switch for? Let's see here. I wonder if that just came loose or what. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. There's a oops to the video, huh? That ain't right. Grab a screwdriver. I don't have a screwdriver sitting here. Why would I? You don't need a screwdriver for this. Why would I have one sitting there? Why would I? That switch is not all the way out. Let's see here. Try this again. Just start this video over, huh? What's going on here, YouTube? Vaping with... No, that ain't right. Anyhow, switch has a little spring. Put the spring in. We're going to try this again. I'm not a giant fan of this switch here anyhow. So, we'll see how this works after I tighten everything down. Get a little snuggy. Alright, the hammer. The shiny hammer. We'll leave the switch off for a second. The switch is where your battery goes in. You got an 18350 laying around? Fits in there just wonderfully. At least it did. Yeah, I'm good. Gotta make sure everything's tightened down on here first, I guess. It had this fully apart earlier. I made a modification. This is not mine. Bye-bye. I made a modification to the 510 connection. You see the very top part? That's your beautiful 510 connection. Yeah, it's engraved really nicely, really deep. It's awesome. Awesome looking. And the way I have it set up right now, it is a floating pin, partially. Now, as long as I have this in my hand, we're going to take this apart. And the plastic on this comes apart like so. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see what I'm cooking? The plastic piece comes apart, and it has two little caps in it that look like that. And it's spring loaded. Spring loaded. Okay? And the spring that's in there is this little weak, crappy spring that gives you nice and terrible conductivity. So what I did was I twisted up some thick gauge wire. I don't know really what size the wire is. Just some nice thick wire that I had laying around. And I can't get that to jut out. See, it's just going to be a one thing after another here. Let's see here. There we go. Get her to jut out like that. We'll put her back down on here. And get her all nice and snugged up. And now it's not spring loaded at all. It's just there. Now, what I've been using, of course, is my fogger on my Nemesis. It does a really nice job. However, when I first put my fogger on here, I maybe got that much out of it, out of a full hit. It was like that, going like this. Okay? Terrible, terrible conduction on that 510. That's pretty much where the problem lies. On the 510, okay? The switch don't look right now. I don't know why. Find out in a minute, I guess, if it fires. But now, and yeah, my 18350 that I have is that Chinese battery that I got with my clone of a clone of a clone. It's gonna fire. It's not bad now. Off my Chinese battery. I'll cut off my top of my head here. I guess I could tell you guys a little bit, but then what I'm using is going to fall over. So, I'll use something weighted. My can of soda. I'm not drinking it at the moment anyhow. It is nice. It does have venting. I did go over vaping with Twisted 420's little video on this. It is a fingerprint magnet though. You wipe this thing off, she shines like no tomorrow. I mean, got the nice hammer logo. Hammer logos on both sides. Got the hammer on the bottom. It is neat. I did want one when I first saw them. Look at that. Fits in your hand. It's all that the fogger sticks out. It's just the cap, really. Fits in your hand. Look at that. Nice. Yeah. That's all you see of it. It's nice. It's nice. I like it. Now, it does have a locking ring on here. And it does work. I don't know what I might have done to upset this switch, but it was sticking out quite a bit farther than that earlier. Quite a bit. Maybe it just wasn't set in there. I don't know. Anywho, it's one little issue, and I'm not sure. You got this off of eBay. You got some kit deal going on eBay. And you got this, and a Nemesis, and a Nimbus, and a K-Fun. But if you see that, can you see that? It doesn't screw all the way down in there. Notice that right off the bat. Now I'll put the positive side in. Okay. Now when you put the 18650 battery in, there's battery rattle. And it's not going to hit now. Why isn't it going to hit now? And I know if this went all the way in, there would be no problems. But it won't. Which tells me I'm going to have to pull this screw out. Partly. I didn't need to do that before. Before it fell apart. What's up with that? So, we make the switch a little longer by unscrewing it. Something like that. Now it'll fire. But it just looks wonky like that. But it hits really good actually right now. And you probably couldn't see that because I went above the camera. But problem is you're going to lose that switch. And it is the wobbliest button in the world. Look at the wobble on that bad boy. But it works just fine. But I think maybe take this out. Maybe if I was going to say put an O-ring in there, but that ain't going to work, is it? Would like that to be nice and tight. It's just not going to work out for me. The hammer. It is absolutely terrible with this spring in. And I've heard if you use a copper or brass spring or something, it'll get better. Well, I opted to put something solid in there for them. And I haven't even tried my K-Fun on here to see if it'll screw all the way down or not. You know, K-Fun on there, everything nice and shiny. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. But they're right, it doesn't quite look right with that. Forgot. Mouth hits. I'm so used to the fogger now. And you can see that it's hitting like a mod should be hitting. When I put it on my Nemesis here, these are both my Nemesis I've been using for the last like 3 hours, but it hits. Yeah. With fogger, maybe that's an easier comparison. It's a nice fog out of there. This ain't about my fogger, but I did take the airflow control ring off and put it back together. Probably won't even notice it. Just barely. It hits like it's supposed to hit now. Just leery about adjusting that screw like that. Whatever, man. It's a clone, I guess, huh? And I know it wouldn't be an issue if this whole piece right here would screw in all the way. But it doesn't. But I think they messed up when they measured out how much threads they were going to need. I didn't try the 18500, but the 18500 is the same thing. It's got that gap in there. It doesn't seat all the way down. I suppose I could sand that down for them and get that down about one thread, and then we'd have something. And I could tighten that switch up where it's supposed to be. As it sits now, I tighten that switch up. That's all the throw you would get, which is fine on that switch for the 18350 battery. It's perfect for the 18350 battery. But because this tube doesn't screw all the way in, it leaves maybe, probably about one thread that it won't go all the way in. That's not enough throw. So, see if I can unscrew this now. And it's just the wobbliest switch in the world. Probably not the world, but you know what I'm saying. So, now we got a longer throw. That'll work for this battery. It's comfortable though. You can pretty much hold it in an 18650 mode. You can hold it however you want. You can use the flicker finger. But I'd be leery with that switch. I think pushing it, it's going to just pop out one of these times. No, it is. However, in 18350 mode, I'll show you. Take the tube off, tighten that switch all the way back up. Just the dinkiest throw. There's no battery rattle. But it's an 18350. That, and it's a cheap Chinese 18350. So, battery life, and it's not going to hit as hard. It's close, but I can tell that battery just doesn't have enough oomph there. But it's the hammer, man. Almost dropped it. Almost made my own twisted video on a switch. I don't know if I showed you that. That awesome logo. It's deeply engraved. Really nice. See how short that throw is that I can have with the 18350. I don't know what I could do to this to get that screw to tighten up. Yeah, I do. I know what I could do. I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do it off camera. If I clip a piece of wire, and I put it down the hole that the screw threads into, is there enough threads to do that? Oh yeah. Clip a little piece of wire and put it down that hole. It should be enough to where this doesn't screw in all the way, and I can tighten it up so it won't come loose. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I like that idea. Goofy little thing. Aha, left the battery in there. So, oh, what the heck. Yeah, you can take it apart. You take the 510 connection right off, and then you see that brass tube, copper tube, brass tube. And then there's this little ring in here. That doesn't want to come out because I screwed it in so tight. La 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 la. I screwed it in so tight it don't want to come out now. La 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 la. Tools of the trade, people. Tools of the trade. Nope. Not even like that. Hi, dog. Go lay down, dog. There we go. So, we got this nice double-threaded ring right there. Goes in there. And then your tube slides out. Now, supposedly, these come off. They're threaded. Like so. Like that. The end pieces. And there's also a sleeve in there. Okay? Separating your positive and negative connection. And I think I just found one of the reasons why it won't screw down all the way, because the sleeve is bigger than the tube. Well, if the sleeve is bigger than the tube and you go to thread this on, it doesn't thread down all the way. Well, yay me. So, maybe I'll take a X-Acto knife and take a little bit of that sleeve off. But yeah, as it stands, the review of this, and I noticed when Twisted did his video, he's like, oh, no matter what you do, these won't line up. Well, of course they won't. They're not drilled exactly the same as what they are on the back of the mod. See that? They're not drilled exactly the same, but there's this piece in here gapping it out. Okay? So you still get plenty of battery venting. Plenty. Okay? Okay. We're going to say okay now, I guess. Whatever. But there it is. Here we have it. Getting this little ring in here kind of sucks. I'll get it in there though. I'm gonna make up more modifications to this bad boy before I send it back packing to my buddy. Well, we're gonna have this puppy working out so nice that he'll probably end up using this instead of his Nemesis. Although this is a lot heavier than the Nemesis, gotta say. There it is. The Hammer clone. As it comes to you, be prepared to make some changes. Even me putting my Nautilus on there, it wasn't great. I put my Pro Tank on there, wasn't great. Now, however, I put my Pro Tank on there, if the 510 would stay down. The threading on this is really nice. It's so nice, in fact, that even when you tighten it all the way up, it can come back loose again. That's what she looks like with the Pro Tank on her. Looks like a hammer, man. Dunk. Looks like a hammer. It's a hammer. Looks like a hammer. So, you know, we put some bling on here. We put the old Nautilus on here. Nautilus is huge on here. Look at that. The old dragon on there. Nautilus is like my little testing device now. I just throw it on stuff, see how it hits on it. But probably throw that spring back in the box for him. What the heck am I going to use it for? There it is, the hammer. You want one? Yeah, it looks cool, man. But saying, if you purchase one of these, just be prepared. That spring that's in the 510 connection that makes both sides floating, adjustable, whatever, can't carry the current. And if you watch Twisted's video, the reason why, after 1 day of use of him using it, why that thing went all wonky and it wouldn't spring back out the way it was supposed to, and it just kind of floats around like this one does a little bit. It sticks up in there. I don't know if you can see that, but it does go up in there, come back down. And his, if you notice on his video, it would just kind of stick up there. Well, that's because the current running through the spring ruined the spring, and it was just like putting a solid, not a solid pin in there, but a really weak spring, because the heat just took the springiness right out of this. Just like when you're wrapping your coils with Kenthal and you heat it up with the torch, all the springiness goes away. Well, battery current creates the heat, took your springiness away. So either upgrade that spring or find something, maybe a solid stainless grub screw or something that's small enough to fit inside there. I'll call it a grub screw because that's what Todd's always calling them. Oh, we got this little grub screw, I guess. I've never heard of that. Call them set screws where I come from. But that's about it, man. The hammer, you know. Together, best cooperation. Tobacco. And, yeah, it's a clone. Comes in a box that looks just like the original. I'm going to fiddle with this a little bit. I really don't even see the need for that sleeve in there because, you know, unless you have no plastic coating on your battery, that is pretty much your sleeve. That's it, man. I'm gonna go fiddle with this thing, and maybe I'll come back with a short little look what it does now video if it works out right. If it doesn't, then the heck with it. You all have fun now, 'cause I know I will.